greatest mistakes that we can make in life is trying too hard to rush toward some kind of goal, some kind of dream. When we are young, we like to think how wonderful it would be to grow up. And when we grow up, we dream about how wonderful it would be to be young. And it was said that life can move pretty fast if you don't take the time to stop, look around. It can easily just pass you by. I think a good place to start is by questioning why we want this outcome so badly. Why do we work so hard towards something? Why are we so focused on the end goal? And I think humans are a lot more simple than we'd like to believe. I think what most people are looking for is simply happiness. They think their dreams will make them happy, that accomplishing their goals will bring them joy. We look to the future as this kind of container of everything that we desire. In the future, that is where the treasure is. And once I find the treasure, then everything will be better. But as you may know, the future is really just a concept in our mind, when in reality there is only the eternal present moment. In the past, it was the present. In the future, it will be the present. These are just abstract concepts to help us understand the relationship of time to the present moment that is. And here is the key to everything. It's so much more simple than the mind can often tolerate. The mind likes to believe that the journey is long and hard, and at the end, the reward will be great. The mind thinks that if something is easy, then it's not worth having. And this is true. In that regard, the mind is right. But the mind often overcomplicates things to feel like it's accomplishing something, to feel like it's doing something. True awakening is realizing that there is no journey, that there is no end goal, there is no destination. Both the journey and the destination are here now. The moment you become free, the moment you become enlightened, is the moment you realize there is no journey because there is no distance to the destination. And for a journey to take place, there needs to be a person to embark on that journey. But who am I? But to return into the realm of duality, where most of us are currently at, we must use the language that is relevant. So I say, if you desire to win at this game of life, if you desire to reach the destination of your journey, then you must realize that what you are looking for here with you now. It is not in the future. I like to say the truth is sometimes like your nose. It's so close to your face that often the only way to see it is by looking in the mirror. You will find that the whole spiritual journey, or the soul's journey, or the life's journey, what you were looking for the whole time was yourself. And that the world around you, the world of shiny objects, was there so that you forget about yourself, so that you become distracted. And this is a good thing, because life is like a game of hide and seek that God is playing with itself. So what fun would it be if there was no hiding? If there was no forgetting? If there was no illusion? If there was no matrix? We live in an age where people are always rushing to do things. People often mistake busyness for taking action. But busyness is often procrastination in disguise. We stay busy so that we can avoid looking in the mirror, to avoid facing the truth. And so we make a mess of our lives by moving too quickly. We keep pushing things under the rug, thinking that they will go away, and that one day in the future, things will be solved. But unless you face the truth, the problems just get bigger and bigger, and they compound. And eventually you don't have enough strength left to deal with them. And so you may avoid this fate by slowing down. Don't always be needing to do something. It's been said that most of the world's problems come from a person's inability to sit alone in a room with themselves. You look at the many hyper-disciplined entrepreneurs and business people nowadays, and they are very much worthy of our respect. But I would say, take any one of them, put them alone in a room for 3 days with nothing. And I will show you a person who is too attached to taking action. And of course, it's probably not fair, because sitting alone doing nothing is not particularly easy. But once you realize that everything you are searching for can be found within, then you savor every moment in which you are alone doing nothing. Take the time for silence. Listen more than you speak. Be mindful in your movements. Don't always rush so aggressively from one task to the other. Focus your attention 100% on what you are doing. Through meditation, through developing our awareness, we can begin becoming detached from our thoughts. Because when we are attached to our thoughts, we have identified with them. And so whatever the nature of the thought is, that is the nature of our experience. If we have a negative thought, we feel negative. If we have a positive thought, we feel positive. But as you begin observing, remaining as a non-attached awareness, you can observe your thoughts, you can observe your emotions, you can observe your actions, and you can see why your life is the way it is. You could see the steps in which you are creating your reality. You will find that the outer world is a reflection of what is within. When you begin observing the patterns of your behavior, you begin seeing why you are the way you are, why you attract certain kinds of people into your life, why you attract certain kinds of problems. Or perhaps you have worked through this, and so you attract abundance into your life. You attract wonderful situations. But most people are too busy to take a moment and look in the mirror. We have been lied to in believing that if you just work hard and be disciplined, that everything's going to be okay. Working hard and being disciplined is a very good thing, but it means nothing without wisdom. And one cannot have wisdom without knowing themselves. Because wisdom is the very nature of consciousness. And consciousness is found in silence, in emptiness, in space. Consciousness is eternal, and it is found in the present moment. This is what it means to be in a flow state. What is a flow state? It's when you are so fully present in the moment that consciousness can flow freely from the source into the external world. And so your actions are inspired by the divine. The words you speak are inspired by the divine. Your creative acts are inspired by the divine. You become superhuman. But most people perceive themselves as this kind of little ego in a hostile world. And as long as I keep moving forward, then we'll make it. And every day is just a desperate attempt to survive. Clawing and scraping through life. Trying to always make ends meet. Always in fear. Always judging others. Always in pain. And why is this? It is because they resist the present moment. If you are swimming in a river, when you go with the flow of the current, you can relax, you can be at ease. You are at one with the river. But if you are always swimming against it, desperately trying to hold on to whatever you can, and you're hyperventilating and trying not to drown, then what do you expect? Your experience is going to be miserable. Whether or not you will be successful, happy, and at peace is precisely correlated to your ability to allow the flow of energy within you. Because energy is life, and where life can flow, death cannot be. And so wherever you are blocking the flow of life within you, wherever there are energy blockages, death will fill its place. Disease will manifest. Pain and suffering, all the things that are associated with death. But if you can learn to unblock the flow of energy, release the trauma, when you can be fully in the present moment and not resist, when you can perceive your thoughts from a place of non-reaction, when you can experience your reality, things in the external world, without being attached to them, this is how you allow the flow of energy to be free within you. It was once said that when one turns the clay into the vessel, it is the emptiness that makes the vessel useful. Because in emptiness, it can be filled. And so the more nonsense that is kept in your mind, the stronger your attachment to your identity, your judgments, all of your ideas about the world. These things are like dirt and dust or sand in the pot or the vessel. You are already filled with all of these identities, all of these thoughts. And so there is less room for the divine light of consciousness. When you empty the mind, when you empty the body, you allow for the free flowing of consciousness, of life within you. And energy, this life force, this creative power within us, its very nature is harmony. Its very nature is bliss and wisdom. And so if you can tap in to this consciousness that is your very being, by letting go of all that you are not, then life will harmonize itself. You will not have to struggle so hard to live your life. You will not fall into the trap of those who claw and scrape for just a tiny drop of happiness, of relief. You will realize that you actually do not have to figure your life out. That when you get out of life's way, life works itself out. It is only the ego that feels like it needs to be in control. It needs to always be doing something. It needs to be taking action. And this doesn't mean we reject our earthly life. It doesn't mean we reject this incarnation, this body with its personality and its tendencies. We can accept and love these things for what they are, because these too are consciousness. They're simply energies at lower vibrational frequencies. But we must align our life with the highest truth, and then everything else will work itself out. Whereas when we align ourselves with the lesser truths, then we get in this habit of being in suffering all the time, struggling, striving, trying to make life better, trying to make ourselves better, trying to feel better. But when you flip these two things around, when you trade in the lesser self for the higher self, then things become into balance. You begin falling into the flow of life rather than resisting against it. And when you are in the flow of life, life isn't a struggle. Even if you have or face difficult times, difficult problems, you will handle these problems with a kind of grace. You will experience life more as a dance in which you are always playing. Life is a game played seriously. But if one ever loses that sense of play, that sense of fun, then life is nothing but a short, brutal joke. That we are on the receiving end of. So take the time to slow down. Don't be always in a rush. You don't need to feel like you always have to be doing something. That if you don't accomplish, that if you're not always striving or working toward a goal, that somehow you are not worthy. People nowadays contribute their worth to the amount of work that they do in a single day. But the truth is, the consciousness that is your very being is unconditionally worthy. It's unconditional love. And so long as you put a condition on yourself, that I'll be happy when, that I'll be peaceful when, that I'll be worthy of love when, that I can only feel good about myself when I feel like I accomplished something, then you'll always be stuck in this alignment with lesser truth. And there will always be an element of struggle. And this can be a good thing. It can help keep the fire in us alive. It can help keep us moving forward. But you want to be able to struggle from a higher place. A tiny bit of tension is good for us. It keeps the dynamic energy flowing. But for people who have not yet realized the higher truths, then it's just a life of misery. When's my next dopamine hit? And so they turn to temporary pleasures to try and fill this gaping hole within them, just to feel something, just to not feel so terrible all the time. That is why it is of the utmost importance to slow down and pay attention. Because so long as you're busy, you will remain distracted and in this kind of death loop. This loop where you're always looking to find just a drop of happiness. That is your entire life. An entire life of struggle, and turning to addictions, turning to vices, turning to other people to make you happy. And then you get the dopamine hit, then soon after it's gone. And then we continue on with our struggle. Until you slow down and find inner peace, find inner happiness now in the present moment. When you find this first, then often many of the other problems will fade away. Because what problems do you have if you are happy? Then you can work and play in life on the things that you want to do. You don't have to work and slave away on what you think you have to do. What a great tragedy for people who always believe that they have to be doing something. When you are happy, when you are peaceful, it doesn't matter so much then what you are doing. You will bring this energy to every interaction, to every experience. But often we are taught that you just have to do the things even when you don't feel like doing them. But why would you not feel like doing something? Why do we need to force ourselves to do things that we don't want to do? But a better question is, who is this person that is not wanting to do something, that is resisting a particular action? And why do we feel we need to force ourselves to do this thing? What is the end goal? What are we trying to achieve? Why are we doing this? And perhaps you will find that we force ourselves to do certain things to avoid pain and pursue pleasure. We force ourselves to go to the gym every day because we think it will make us happy. Or we want to avoid the pain of perhaps mental illness or having to deal with our thoughts. Perhaps it's a way of releasing our trauma. Or would you rather be the person who has to force themselves to go to the gym every day or all the time? Or would you rather be the person who goes to the gym because they genuinely enjoy doing it, because it's fun, because you love it? This reveals that the only difference between these two people is their identity and their attitude. On one end, there's a problem, and on another, there is no problem. This is what we must question. Why do we have a certain attitude? Why are we forcing ourselves or engaging in the action in the first place? What do we think we will achieve or get? And then also, who is the person resisting? Who is this identity that I've come to believe? When you question the identity and why we have a certain attitude toward certain actions, then you question our motives. Why do we believe we need to do this thing? You will eventually come to see the futility in this kind of hamster wheel. Because if I say I have to work a job that I don't like, and I have to force myself to go to this job because I want to avoid the pain of having no money and being broke, and I want the pleasure of having some money so I can have a tiny bit of freedom, so that I can survive. And you allow yourself to be caught, always in survival, always struggling, always trying to make ends meet. So you create this identity of this person who's always struggling. So you attract into your life more struggles. If you're always worrying about money, if there's always strong negative emotions, fear, then you attract more problems around money. Your brain seeks to only pay attention to the information that reaffirms your identity and your beliefs. If you go to the store and you look at something that was $5, but a month ago it was $3, and you say, wow, things are getting expensive. For the price of $2, you just reaffirmed in yourself that you are in a state of lack, that you are a broke person. And you have may just perpetuated a cycle of lack and scarcity for months and years to come. More of these situations for you. More bills to pay. More unexpected troubles that financially ruin you. More loans. More debt. This is why it is so important to slow down. Because if you're always busy, you're always reacting to your environment, you're always reacting to your thoughts, your emotions are reacting to your experiences. If you receive a bill in the mail and you have a strong negative emotion to that, that information gets stored in your body, and your unconscious paints a picture that is called your unconscious identity. And this unconscious identity is responsible for where you focus your mind, where you focus your attention on. So the next time you get mail, you may be, oh, I hope there's no bills in there, or I'm probably going to get there's probably going to be another bill in there. So you attract these situations to you. And because you never slowed down, took a moment to observe your thoughts, to observe your emotions, to observe the words that you speak, you never realized that these things weren't happening to you. These things were happening from you. That you didn't get an unexpected bill because bad things just sometimes happen randomly. But that you got a random bill in the mail because that is the kind of person you are. So don't allow yourself to be the person that is in a state of lack all the time. Don't be the kind of person that is always expecting problems. Your life can change in an instant the moment you choose to change your perspective. And there may be a reconditioning process where you have to train your body, you have to reprogram your subconscious mind, change your unconscious identity to be the kind of person that always receives unexpected money in the mail. Who goes to the store and doesn't look at the price tags because you're so much in abundance. That's the only difference between a rich person and a poor person. Simply the way you look at the world. It's your identity. Because your actions will always reflect who you are. So don't ever speak of lack. Because the power within you, this consciousness, is infinite. The only thing keeping you from the infinite source of abundance that will never be drained is simply, well, how much of your vessel have you filled with nonsense, with dirt? How much of your mind do you fill with unnecessary thoughts? kind of beliefs do you allow? What kind of information are you feeding yourself with? What kind of things do you watch? What kind of people do you listen to? Do you hang around with? Because all of the incoming information is no different than consuming food. Are you consuming healthy food for your mind? So long as there is a bunch of junk in your mind, this will always block you being able to receive your blessings, your abundance. The way to change your identity is by understanding the way the unconscious works, because the unconscious mind is the intelligence of our bodies. And our bodies receive information through feelings and emotions. And the brain or the mind receives information through patterns and symbols and images. So you receive patterns from the external world, incoming data, and this evokes some kind of emotion that reflects whatever information that is being received, whether it is negative, positive, or neutral. And so if you have a negative emotional reaction to something, this begins reaffirming a negative unconscious identity, because that information is being stored in the body. If you have a positive reaction to something, that is reinforcing a positive unconscious identity. So I say, the trick or the secret to creating any life that you desire, any life of your dreams, that is available right now to everybody, is by practicing the art of non-reaction, of seeing things without being so quick to emotionally respond. Master your emotions, because your emotions are what create your unconscious identity. And your emotions are created through your thoughts and through patterns in the external world. So you have to be very careful about what you give your emotions to. Don't give your emotions to anything that you wouldn't want to experience again. Because the moment you ingrain some kind of trait in the unconscious, you will begin seeing this pattern over and over again. And often it is the unfavorable situations that we attract into our life. If you wish to be rich, if you wish to be wealthy, then all negative associations with money must be reprogrammed within you. One of the best things I've heard lately about this is that imagine that every time you go to spend money, it's like spending a leaf. And back home you have a forest of abundance. So it means nothing to you. Even if you are broke and have nothing. Even if you are thousands of dollars in debt. Do not give your negative emotions to these so-called facts of reality, because you will only reaffirm them. Because in truth, the infinite abundance is in you already. You already have everything that you could ever need. Abundance in the external world is just a reflection of the abundance that you have allowed to be within. That is why it was said that seek the kingdom of God first, and then everything else will be added on to you. It's because we focus so much on things that are not really that important. We waste so much of our energy on nonsense. But when we give our energy to the eternal, to God, when we focus our energy on the presence in this very moment, then we become the perfect vessel to receive abundance, to receive blessings. Because the more we are aligned with the eternal, the more we give and focus our energy on that which is eternal, the more we become aligned with life. And the more we align ourselves with that which is temporary, with the things in the external world, the more we attach our identity to the changing, the more we are aligned with death. Because death is the very nature of that which is changing and that which is temporary. It doesn't last. And life is the very nature of that which is eternal, because it never dies and lives forever. And so the more we can create a vessel for receiving abundance, the more abundance will manifest into our lives. You see, because even though it is seemingly not a big deal, if I go to the store and complain about the prices of groceries, I am reaffirming not only to life, but to myself that I am not worthy of abundance, that I am aligned with that which is temporary, that I am ignorant of the truth, because the infinite abundance is is already within you now. It is unconditional. Seek the eternal first and give all of your energy to this. Then all that which is temporary will work itself out. Eventually, your external circumstances will have to represent this internal state of abundance. And again, what everybody is seeking in the external world and temporary pleasures and addictions was right under your pillow the whole time. People go out into the world and seek happiness, but it was there all along before you even got out of bed. But people like to be busy. People are attached to their egos and their personal identities. We like to feel that we need to work for our happiness, work for our peace. And this is true, but there are different ways to play the game of life. So I say, focus all of your attention not on achieving in the external world, not on learning new things, but use all of your experiences to discover yourself, to learn about you, and cultivate the emotions that you want to experience first and foremost. Focus your attention on becoming the individual that you would love to see in the mirror. One should wake up every single day excited to be alive. And so long as this is not the case, then there is work to do. But not work in the sense that you're striving out in the world trying to achieve things, but that you are a great sculptor working on uncovering this great piece of art. This work of art that is you. And it is not a process of building up. It is a process of removing. Removing the unnecessary thoughts. Removing the negative reactions to experience. By removing foolish words. By removing trauma stored in the body. By removing fear, by removing hate, shame and guilt. Because when we remove all that we are not, all that is left is perfection.